There is presented online control of educational results of the unit electricity in the conditions of blended learning. In connection with the pandemic and the introduction of martial law in Ukraine, there is a need to modernize the education system. The practice of using blended or distance form of learning dominates. Forms and methods of education are being improved, new technologies for learning and providing educational content are emerging. In particular, during the studying the unit electricity, in the context of studying the discipline physics, there is a need in assessment of its quality. During remote stages of education, robust communication when receiving information in an online format becomes an actual issue. Also, it's necessary to be noted that any submission of information must be monitored for assimilation of higher education applicants. The main requirement for countermeasure of the activities of higher education applicants is the professional focus of monitoring the conditions of distance learning. In order to achieve the objectivity of control in the conditions of distance learning, the requirements of informativeness, the validity and reliability of control, differentiation of verification should be followed. The research methodology involves the analysis and synthesis of scientific, pedagogical, methodological sources and empirical methods, as well as the analysis of the obtained results. Before the implementation of the developed technology and after the completion of the experimental work, the study was conducted. It included an analysis of the quality of knowledge of studying the specified topic. The obtained results before and after the experiment were tested using the Pearson chi-square statistical test. There are presented the technology of online control of educational results of the unit electricity in the conditions of blended learning. The unit electricity consists of the three topics. It is electric field in vacuum, electric field in substance, and electric current. For each part, there are outlined the topics. For example, in the first part, electric field in vacuum, there are outlined electric field strengths, potential, the connection between tension and potential, electric dipole, circulation and flow of the electric field. For realization, the online control of educational results of this part of the unit electricity, there were used the graphical, the calculation, the audio, and the animated questions. Second part, electric field in substance, consists of the topics about electric field in dielectrics and conductors in the electric field. To realization this part of the unit electricity were used animated and graphical questions. And in the part of electric current, there are used topics, general laws of electric current, electric circuit, current in a circuit with a capacitor, and work and current power. And for its realization were used audio, graphical, calculation, and animated questions. At the end of realization, the online control of educational results of the unit electricity, there are presented final test and control work of the unit electricity. Here you can see the examples of the different types of the tests in the context of the unit electricity. The calculation test can vary in complexity and may cover different areas of science. The purpose of a calculation test is to measure a person's numerical responding skills, problem-solving abilities, and mathematical fluency. The students must compute, then input the numerical response. With the use of the following type of tests, applicants of higher education can improve their speed calculation skills as well as their understanding of theoretical, technical, and mathematical domains. The audio test is a control measure that involves fixing the level of knowledge acquisition at a given interval of mastering educational content. The essence of the audio test is that the student has opportunity to listen an audio question and options for possible audio answer to this question. After listening, the students choose the correct answer. Audio tests are relevant in the educational process due to the fact that modern students prefer audio files to text and even video files. Therefore, the development of this type of test tasks must necessarily be accompanied by modern audio-visual content. The use of this type of tasks prevents mechanical selection of the answer, activates memory, and the degree of assimilation of educational content. The usage of graphical tests aims to develop professional competencies through the training of visual perception and work with engineering drawings, diagrams, and other graphic objects in the conditions of blended learning. This type of test offers a chance to deep awareness of certain process and technical system within the complex, serving as an addition of the theoretical study of teaching materials, practical applications, and laboratory work. Tests that allow to drag a visual picture into a text or visual picture into a picture allows to analyze and distinguish between different engineering machine components or, for example, different physical terms and concepts. This type of test can develop analytical skills, memory training, and visual perception training. Based on the GIF animation of physical processes, an animated test is presented. It is required to select one of the suggested images in order to restart the entire process. The processes of simulating the physical interaction of solids, the motion of particle, liquid, and gas systems, the simulation of dynamic motion, and the spatial animation of geometric forms may all be seen in animated simulators. It makes possible to carry out physical investigations that need some specialized equipment and comprehend their working principles. There are represented the levels of studying the unit electricity during blended learning in the control and experimental group at the beginning and at the end of the experiment. The obtained empirical value of frequency square test at the end of the experiment is more or equal than the critical value, which means it's belonging to the zone of significance. The level of studying the unit electricity during online learning in the control and experimental groups at the end of the experiment have significant differences, and it's obvious that the author's technology is effective. Online control of educational results in the unit electricity within blended learning context offers numerous benefits, including flexibility, accessibility, diverse assessment format, real-time feedback, data-driven insights, authentic assessment opportunities, academic integrity safeguards, supporting for diverse learners, and increased engagement and motivation. However, it's essential for educators to thoughtfully design and implement online assessment to maximize their effectiveness and ensure they align with the learning objectives and needs of students. The implementation of the proposed technology contributed to the improvement of the quality of students' knowledge and skills on the unit electricity. Analysis of the results of the experiment using the Pearson statistical test showed a statistically significant increase in the level of application results in the experimental group compared to the control group, which confirmed the effectiveness of the developed technology. Thank you for your attention.